This is Paul. I was looking in this law dictionary. They got what's called subpoena ducis tecum, a subpoena that orders a person to bring certain documents into court when it answers the subpoena. Yeah. Then there's what's called subrogation, the act of substituting a claim against one person for a claim against another person. The substitution of one individual for another in claiming a debt or right. Yeah. Then you've got what's called sub rosa, secretly, privately, clandestinely. Now, let's say I've been emailing those in law enforcement since November 20th of 2015. Yeah. No, 2016. Oh, no, it was 2015. Yes. And they issue a protection order where I'm not given actual notice and opportunity to be heard. Right. And they decide, well, we're just not going to enforce the guy's rights. We're not going to do it. And they have this sub rosa type of meeting where those that are mayors or police officers or sheriffs or judges or justices, they all get together and they talk about the issue, and they themselves decide, nope, we're not going to enforce the rights of the individual. Well, I decide to subpoena the IRS. I said, I want you to bring all my tax records and all the income taxes that I've paid for the last, I'm 46, going to be 47 in July. I started paying taxes when I was 16. Yes, for the last 30 years, I want to know every income tax that I've paid as an American citizen. I want all of those subpoenaed and brought into court. Yes. Now, I could sue the IRS for not representing me because they do have those in the IRS that can enforce the laws of the United States. But in that lawsuit, I just let that lie. Then I asked the state of Washington to bring in all the property taxes I paid on my house in Sequim and the house that I owned in Vancouver. Yes. And thank you for that. The rental property I had when my father, Paul Douglas Budnek, had died. Yes. Bring in all, I subpoena the taxes that I paid as a homeowner. Yeah. And a landlord. And I have the state of Washington's Treasury Department bring those documents in. Then I asked for the business taxes. I had two separate businesses. I had James Thomas King and Johann Financial Services. Yeah. And I had Full Sail Systems. I was a commodity trading advisor. Yep. And I asked for all the tax dollars and the fees that I paid to have a business. And I subpoena the governor of the state of Washington. And then I go through and I look at all of the sales tax that I've paid on every item for the last 20 years. Now, I used credit cards for quite a few years. I had $180,000 worth of unsecured debt. Yes, I did. So I go through every item that I know that I purchased, that I paid taxes on, and I have my paralegals calculate the total amount of sales tax. Then I subpoena Secretary of State, Washington State. Now, I could sue the state of Washington for not enforcing the Constitution of the state of Washington, and I could sue the taxation department, the Treasury of the state of Washington. I could sue each and every state's Treasury Department. But instead, I do one of these where you change the lawsuit for a right. Yes. Now I decide to sue every oath of office in the United States because I have actually supported their incomes. Yes, he has. And I'm not going to use that old taxation without representation because it's not effective. Everybody has heard that before. I subpoena for every tax dollar that I've paid for the last 30 years. And then I decided to sue every oath of office in the United States federal government for not supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States. Now, when my income has gone to contribute to their incomes, I could say it's thievery, robbery, theft. You stole my tax money that was used to support your income, and then when I asked you to enforce the laws of the United States, when I asked you to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, you decided that you were going to take my taxes and keep them as your income, but then you wouldn't support your own oath. So I'm going to sue you for violating your oaths.